You know, pretty much everything you do online, from streaming a show to buying groceries, relies on this hidden engine. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that engine, the database. We're going to see exactly how to transform a chaotic mess of information into a tool of incredible clarity and power. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been completely lost in a massive spreadsheet? I'm talking about the kind where just finding one little piece of information feels like a nightmare, and you're terrified that one wrong click could break the whole thing? Yeah, that feeling of being overwhelmed, that's data overload. And this is really the heart of the problem, what I call data chaos. It's when you have one giant file where you're constantly repeating the same information over and over again. You know, a customer moves, and now you have to hunt down and update their address in a dozen different places. If you miss just one, well, your data becomes inconsistent, unreliable. And let's be honest, you just can't make good decisions with bad information. So, how do we fix this? Well, we need a plan. Before we build anything, I don't care if it's a house or a database, we need a blueprint. In the world of data, this means laying a really strong foundation by following a few key rules for smart design. Think of these principles as the essential building codes for your data. First, is it usable? Are we storing things that actually matter? Is it trustworthy? Can we really rely on the data's integrity? Can it grow with our needs? Is it fast? And of course, is it secure? Getting these right from the start means we're building our database on a foundation of solid rock, not sand. Okay, so our foundation is set. Now, let's get to the fun part and look at the actual building blocks. I want you to imagine we're creating a super-powered digital library. To do that, we've got 4 essential tools in our toolkit. First up, we have tables. These are the absolute bedrock. In our library analogy, tables are the shelves. So you'd have one shelf for customers, another for products, and maybe another one for orders. Each table holds a very specific collection of related information, keeping everything neat and tidy. But how do we get new books onto our shelves without making a complete mess? That is where forms come in. A form is basically like a standardized intake slip from a librarian. It's this clean, user-friendly interface that guides you to enter information correctly, making sure every piece of data is accurate and lands in exactly the right spot. All right, here's where the real magic starts to happen. With everything organized, you need a way to ask it questions. That's a query. A query is like having your own expert librarian on call. You can ask it to find all the sales from last quarter, and poof, it'll go retrieve exactly what you need instantly. And finally, once your librarian, your query, has found all that great information, you need a nice way to present it. And that's a report. A report takes your raw data and formats it into a professional, easy-to-read summary, kind of like a curated reading list or an end-of-year financial statement, all ready to be printed or shared. Okay, so we've got our shelves, our intake slips, our expert librarian, and a printing press. But the real power, the absolute secret sauce of a great database, comes from connecting all this information together. And we do that using something called keys and relationships. It all starts with what we call a primary key. Take a look at that CID column. Every single customer gets a unique ID, kind of like a personal library card number. And this is the golden rule. A primary key guarantees that every single entry is one of a kind. I mean, there might be 2 John Smiths in the world, but there can only ever be one customer with ID 101. Now, check out this employees table. See that CID column again? Well, over here, it's called a foreign key. It's a direct reference, a pointer, right back to the primary key in our customers table. So when we see CID 101, we instantly know that employees Bill Jones and Sue Garcia are linked to our customer, John Smith. Just like that, we've built a powerful bridge between 2 totally different sets of information. And these relationships are what elevate a database so far beyond a single spreadsheet. They let us pull related bits of information from all these different places to get a complete 360-degree view of our world. And we do it all without repeating a single piece of data. It's efficient, and it is incredibly powerful. So we've built our structure, and we've connected it. But there's one final absolutely crucial step that the pros use to make their databases lean, mean, and error-free. It's called normalization, but honestly, you can just think of it as the art of tidying up. Now, even if the name sounds a bit technical, the goal of normalization is super simple. Stop repeating yourself. It's all about making sure you don't store the same piece of information in multiple places. Every single piece of data should have one and only one true home. Just look at the difference here. On the left, we're storing John Smith's full address with every single order he makes. That is so much repetition. But on the right, his information is stored just once in a nice, clean customers table. The orders table simply uses his unique ID to refer to him. And here's the crucial part. If John Smith moves, you only have to update his address in one single place. That is the power of normalization. So, why does all of this really matter to you? Well, because what we've just mapped out is the fundamental journey from raw, chaotic data to clear, confident decisions. Think about it. We started by acknowledging the chaos of a messy file. Then, we applied foundational rules for good design. We used our 4 key building blocks: tables, forms, queries, and reports. We created powerful connections with keys. And finally, we tidied everything up with normalization. It's a logical, repeatable process for creating clarity out of confusion. And here's the ultimate takeaway. A well-designed database isn't just some technical achievement. It's a strategic tool. It transforms a giant pile of disconnected facts into a source of reliable, trustworthy insight. And that is what allows you to make truly smart, data-driven decisions. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. Now that you see the structure, where do you see these very principles at work in your own life? I mean, think about the last thing you bought online, the show you just streamed, or even the contacts in your phone. They are all powered by these exact ideas, working silently behind the scenes to bring order from chaos.